Great British menus coming up here on BBC HD this evening at 6:30. But first, time to take on the Eggheads.
These people are amongst the greatest quiz players in Britain. Together they make up the Eggheads, arguably the most formidable quiz team in the country. Question is, can they be beaten? Well, welcome to Eggheads, the show where a team of 5 quiz challengers pit their wits against possibly the greatest quiz team in Britain. They are the Eggheads. And taking on the awesome might of our Eggheads today are the Dorking Cocks from Surrey. Everyone on this team plays rugby for Dorking RFC, and their team name refers to the iconic emblem of their town and club. Let's meet them.
My name's James, I'm 34 and a recruitment company director.
Hi, I'm Steve, I'm 35 years old, I'm a carpenter and I'm originally from Wellington, New Zealand.
Hi, my name's Harry, I'm 25 and I'm a building surveyor.
My name's Ian, I'm 31 and I'm an IT test manager.
Hi, my name's Matt, I'm 24 years old and I'm a drug safety officer.
Welcome to you, Dorking Cocks. Do you quiz much? I know you play a lot of rugby, you can tell that from looking at you. Any quizzing, James?
Yeah, we do quite a bit of quizzing. Personally, I write more quizzes now for my local pub than I do playing, but some of the guys come here and participate in the quiz that I write, so yeah, we're not too bad.
Right, well, let's see how you do against the Eggheads. Every day there's £1,000 worth of cash up for grabs for our challengers. However, if they fail to defeat the Eggheads, the prize money rolls over to the next show. So, Dorking Cocks, the Eggheads, have won the last 2 games, and that means £3,000. Says you can't beat them. So, let's play our first head-to-head. I bet you're hoping for sport, but this one's food and drink. Food and drink, who'd like to play?
Food and drink. Straight up.
Take it.
I think this was going to be mine, Dermot.
OK, right, Ian, and you get to choose any egghead you want.
What did we say?
What are we thinking?
Well,
chaps?
I don't know. I think, what about taking on Barry?
Yeah? Comfortable with that?
He doesn't have
Okay.
easy enough.
Yeah. OK, I'll take on Barry, please, Dermot.
OK, right, go for Barry. Relieved Kevin there. He's staying stum. OK, let's have Ian and Barry into the question room, please. That's to make sure you can't confer, Ian. Well, Ian, do you want to go first or second?
I'll go first, please, Dermot.
Good luck, Ian. Here's your first question, then. What term is used to refer to the process of shaking up whole milk or cream to make butter? Is it barrelling, bottling or churning?
I tend to sit in and watch quite a few food shows and what have you, and I think I've observed the process on the television. I'm going to plump for churning, please, Dermot.
Churning is correct, of course. And Barry, what is the name of the traditional Japanese fermented paste, typically made from soybeans, cereal grains, salt and water? Is it tataki, miso or maki?
Now, Japanese cuisine is one of my favourite cuisines. I know this, that Japanese paste is miso.
Miso, yes, that's correct. Ian, your second question then. The wine-producing region of the Barossa Valley is in which Australian state? South Australia, Tasmania or Queensland?
I am most definitely not a wine buff, Dermot. Most of the liquid I imbibe is probably wheat-based. This is going to be a complete guess. South Australia.
Right choice, yes. James knew that. Correct, yes, South Australia for the Barossa Valley. Barry, what type of dish is amok, A-M-O-K? Often considered to be the national dish of Cambodia. Is it pickled eggs, mango jelly or curry?
Well, I've been to Cambodia. I certainly don't recall ever seeing pickled eggs on the menu or mango jelly. But they do, the Southeast Asians do lovely sorts of green and red curry, so I think I will go for curry.
Yeah, curry is correct. It's still all square at 2-2. Ian, a Norfolk knob is a type of what? Apple, biscuit or chicken?
I used to holiday up in Norfolk with my mum and dad. I'm fairly certain we have a tin in the kitchen which contains some of these. So I'm going to go for biscuit.
Biscuit for a Norfolk knob. It's the right answer. All those childhood holidays standing you in very good stead there. Yes, a kind of biscuit. And it means you've got to get this then, Barry. Vacherin is a type of cheese primarily produced in France and which other country? Belgium, Germany or Switzerland?
Vacherin. I don't think it's a Belgian cheese. Something's telling me it's a Swiss cheese. So I'll go for Switzerland.
A Swiss cheese. That's correct, yes. It's a Swiss cheese. OK, well, it's 3-3. Nobody blinked in quizzing terms yet. And Ian, we're going to change the game a bit now, then take you into sudden death and remove the choices. And you just got to fish an answer from somewhere yourself. Which Italian term for serving meat or fish in very thin slices is taken from the name of a Renaissance painter?
I am not at all sure on this, Dermot. One term came to mind. I may be way off and thinking of something completely different. I'm going to go for ceviche.
Okay, ceviche for serving meat or fish in very thin slices, a Renaissance painter. It's not. Good effort. Do you know, Barry?
Yes, it's carpaccio, beef carpaccio.
Carpaccio from Vittore. Carpaccio. Dates, Kevin?
Or carpaccio.
We always do this. It's our little internal game.
1460 to 1525.
I don't believe it. I mean, honestly, we do not tell him in advance. I mean, Kevin, how?
No, I've just always had a good memory for dates, as simple as that. You know.
Unsurprisingly, ladies, he's still single.
Yeah, not that sort of dates.
1460 to 1525. I don't know how we got into that. OK, Barry. What is the French phrase which translates as lost bread that is another name for French toast?
Just let me think a moment. I think that's pain perdu.
Pain perdu is the right answer, Barry, which means you are perdu, Ian. Just won the round there in sudden death. No place for you in the final round, Ian. Would you both please come back and join your teams? Well, as it stands then, the Dorking Cockerels have lost one brain from the final round, only just though. But the Eggheads are all still there, of course. And our second head-to-head coming up now is film and television. Who'd like to play this one? Can't be Ian.
Well, I think we should save you for the
Okay,
topic.
yeah.
And
Harry,
James.
Harry, you want to take it on?
I'll take it.
Yeah,
Okay.
you
It's
do
going
it.
to be Harry.
And any Egghead you like, apart, of course, from Barry.
Well, who are we going to take?
You want to be Chris or CJ?
Yeah, that's what I would have said. Chris or CJ, yeah.
All right.
Chris.
Even.
Should we go with Chris?
Chris.
Yeah,
Fine.
go on. Yeah.
We're going to take on Chris.
OK, it's going to be Harry and Chris then battling this one out. From the question room, please. OK, Harry, do you want to go first or second?
I'll go first, please, Dermot.
Good luck, Harry. Which chat show host played the part of Father Noel Furlong in Father Ted? Is it Graham Norton, Paul O'Grady or Michael Parkinson?
I don't think it's Paul O'Grady, and Michael Parkinson I can't really see being on Father Ted, so I'm going to go with Graham Norton.
Yeah, you'd be right to do so, yes. There's Father Noel Furlong. OK, Chris, which singer played the part of real-life internet entrepreneur Sean Parker in the 2010 film The Social Network? Is it Justin Timberlake, Justin Hayward or Justin Bieber?
Well, Justin Bieber's just a teeny bopper, isn't he? Probably couldn't act his way out of a paper bag. Justin Hayward, of course, was the Moody Blues, wasn't he, years ago? He's an old rocker, so it must have been Justin Timberlake.
Justin Timberlake, and very good he was too. That's correct, yes. Back to you, Harry. In the 1961 film, The Guns of Navarone, the guns in the title are located on an island in which sea? The South China Sea, the Aegean Sea or the Black Sea?
I might just have to take a little bit of a guess at this one. Navarone, we've got the Aegean Sea. I'm not really focusing on that. I reckon South China Sea.
OK, South China Sea for the Guns of Navarone, yes. It's not. It's the Aegean Sea, set in Greece, isn't it? Greek islands. OK, well, chance for the lead then, Chris. Spook Brain and Benny the Ball were some of the members of which animated character's gang? Is it Batfink, Roger Ramjet or Top Cat?
Okay, TC, it's Top Cat. Yeah, okay.
That's the correct answer. That was right up Chris's street. Well, it's given you the lead, and it means Harry needs to get this. Which film sees Louis Gossett Jr. play the role of tough training officer Sergeant Emile Foley? Is it Top Gun, An Officer and a Gentleman, or Heartbreak Ridge?
Well, Top Gun's a favourite of mine. I don't recall seeing a Sergeant Foley on there, so I'm going to rule that out. And then really it's a 50-50 on the other two. I think I'm going to have to go with An Officer and a Gentleman.
It's the right answer, yes. Made the lads very happy here. Officer and a Gentleman there with Emile Foley, played by Louis Gossett Jr. But Chris goes through if he gets this one right. Who directed the Jim Carrey film The Mask? Is it Tom Shadyac, Peyton Reed or Chuck Russell?
Now, I've got this on VHS indoors somewhere.
VHS?
Yeah, video home system. Keep up.
Oh, yes, of course.
That's Peyton Reed, I think, running the credits through my head again.
No, it's not. Huh? It's not. It's Chuck Russell.
Oh, right.
Chuck Russell did The Mask. So, you're still in it, Harry, but you're into sudden death. The 1971 film Gumshoe, starring Albert Finney, was which British director's debut feature?
Well, as you can probably tell, Dermot, again, this is probably not going to be a question that I'm very strong at. Oh, I can't think of any. I'm going to have to pass over.
OK, British director's debut feature, Gumshoe. Do you know, Chris? Just
not Ridley Scott, is it?
No, other eggheads.
Stephen Frears.
It's Stephen Frears. And it means a chance for Chris here. In 1988, Tim Healy, who played Dennis in Auf Wiedersehen Pet, married which actress who went on to star in Coronation Street?
She never tires of telling us she's married to Tim on Loose Women. It's Denise Welsh.
And that is correct, Chris. Denise Welsh, married to Tim Healy, which means no place for you in the final round, Harry. Would you both please come back and join your teams? Well, the Cockerels playing well here. Both players so far got into sudden death, but haven't got over the line yet. You've lost 2 brains, the Eggheads haven't lost any. So we'll play our third head-to-head now, and this subject is politics. Well, James, Steve or Matt?
I honestly don't think I'll have much of a clue.
You may have the best chance.
Fine. It's going to be me, Dermot.
All right, James. Now, remember that those two down the end have played, so it's Daphne, CJ or Kevin for you.
I think they're all fairly strong, so who would we prefer to send through to the final?
Do we bank on one good round coming up and someone taking on Kevin at that?
I did CJ.
Well,
CJ or Daphne? In which case are we taking through? Daphne will be walking into the final.
Let's go with Daphne then. Yep.
We'd like to invite Daphne to into the final round.
Oh, you've little faith. That's nice of you to invite her. I'm ordering her to go to the question room, please, both of you. I'm sure it's going to happen soon. One of you is going to get through. Will it be you, James? Do you want to go first or second?
Ladies first, Dermot.
Really are a gentleman there, inviting Daphne into the question room, letting her start.
He's a rugby player.
Of course. Daphne. The European Union's system of agricultural programmes and subsidies is known as what? The Common Agricultural Policy, the Central Agricultural Dividend, or the Controlled Agricultural Budget?
The Common Agricultural Policy.
Yeah, lots of arguments about it. CAP, Common Agricultural Policy, it's correct. OK, James, best of luck with your first question. What word is used to mean a worker who continues to work despite an ongoing strike? Is it graze, bruise, or scab?
It's literally going to be a punt in the dark. Of all the words there, thinking about the situation, probably wouldn't go with bruise, probably not going to go with graze. CJ's probably shaking his head already, and I'm going to go with scab.
Scab, OK, I know you're familiar with all of those from the rugby. It's the right answer, yes, scab. Daphne, at what stage in the legislative process does the final discussion and voting on a bill normally take place in Parliament? Is it the third reading, the committee stage, or the report stage?
Committee stage.
No, the voting has to take place in the House, and it's at the third reading.
Oh, well.
The third reading. James, I think, knew that from his nodding, but if you know this, then you're going to be in a commanding position. Which government department has its headquarters at 1 Horse Guards Road in London? Is it the Ministry of Defence, Her Majesty's Treasury, or the Foreign and Commonwealth Office?
It sounds like something I should know. However, sadly, I don't. Sorry, guys, but I'm going to have a punt at Ministry of Defence.
OK, the MOD, or massive Whitehall departments. It's the Treasury, though. It's situated at 1 Horse Guards Road. OK, well, you know, not too much damage done. It stays all square because Daphne got her second one wrong as well. So, all to play for. And third question for you, Daphne. The July measures were a series of measures undertaken by Harold Wilson in July 1966 in support of what? Trident, Sterling or MI5?
Never heard of them. The July measures. Well, the only one I can think of that you would take measures to support would be Sterling.
Sterling for the July measures is correct, Daphne. Yeah, Sterling. So, James, here you go. Which member of George W. Bush's cabinet had previously served on George H.W. Bush's National Security Council staff as Senior Director of Soviet and East European Affairs? Is it Colin Powell, Donald Rumsfeld or Condoleezza Rice?
Well, right or wrong, I'm going to rule out Condoleezza Rice, which leaves me with a 50-50 punt. I know Colin Powell, he does get involved in a lot of the work with the UN. I'm going to punt down the middle and say Donald Rumsfeld.
Donald Rumsfeld? It's not Donald Rumsfeld, and you were always going to get it wrong when you kicked out Condoleezza Rice. Condoleezza Rice, former Secretary of State, which means, Daphne, in spite of a little stumble there, you've won through to the final round and no place for James. Would you both please come back and join your teams? Well, still hasn't happened for the Dorking Cockerels. 3 brains now missing from the final round, and the Eggheads all still there. Let's try and get rid of one of them, and it can only be one of them because we've only got one head-to-head left. This one is music. You've got 2 players left. You've got Steve and Matt there to play it.
Matt, do you want me to take this on? Yeah.
Yeah, I'll have a go.
Yep. I think if we're going to get anywhere, we need to take out
Kevin,
the main man.
Yeah.
It's our main man against their main man.
Got to have a go.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow.
Take on Kevin, please, Dermot.
So Matt against Kevin, and James billing it there as your main man against their main man. Well, this should be good. Let's have you both in the question room then, please, Matt and Kevin. Well, no pressure at all, Matt, but a lot of responsibility on your shoulders trying to knock Kevin out here. On music, do you want to go first or second?
I'll go first, please, Dermot.
Good luck, Matt. Here you go. In a 2009 interview with David Letterman, Madonna said that one of the reasons she left England to return to America was because she was tired of being referred to by what nickname? Is it Maud, Meg or Madge?
Well, I think it's safe to say that there's only one nickname that people in Britain had christened her, and I'm pretty sure that's Madge.
Madge is correct. Yeah, I didn't know that. I thought it was affection. Is that what drove her out?
I saw the interview where she was first told that's what she was being called. She couldn't believe it. And she
Really?
said, "What? Why am I being called that?" She couldn't understand. It was just a term of affection.
Doesn't she realise everyone has to have a nickname? Kevin, human Google. That's yours. In 1989, Sealed with a Kiss became the second solo UK #1 single for which Neighbours actor? Stephen Dennis, Jason Donovan or Ian Smith?
Well, that was the chart heyday of Jason Donovan.
I like the way you said that.
Yeah,
Chart
well,
heyday. It's the right answer, yes, Jason Donovan. Straight on to a pair of second questions. This one going to you, Matt. According to the title of Kirsty MacColl's 1981 single, where does the guy who swears he's Elvis work? Down the chip shop, round the bookies, or up the pub?
Well, can't say I actually own any Kirsty MacColl CDs at home, so nothing really jumping out of me to start with. I'm going to have to take a complete stab in the dark and say, on the basis that the second question, the answer is always the one in the middle, I'll say round the bookies.
And now we're just proving that it's not. It's, it's not round the bookies. I don't know where you came up with that formula from. It is, Kevin.
Down the chip shop.
Down the chip shop. Guy down the chip shop swears he's Elvis. And your second question, Kevin. Who was the first singer to win the Eurovision Song Contest for Ireland? Linda Martin, Dana or Johnny Logan?
That was Dana, 1970.
Song?
All Kinds of Everything.
Yes, correct. Year in the song as well. Dana, the first Irish Eurovision Song Contest winner. You've got to get this, Matt. Which French Nobel laureate in literature provided the libretto for Stravinsky's 1934 work Persephone? Is it François Mauriac, Albert Camus or André Gide?
Absolutely. Well, literature and 1930s music, two of my stronger subjects, I think it's safe to say. Honestly, no real idea at all, I think it's fair to say. I could go with my theory that the third question is always the answer on the right, seeing as that worked so well the second time. But I might go against that. I'm going to guess at Albert Camus, the second one.
Yeah, Camus. Down the middle then. Well, it depends how you define right. If it's on your right, that would be...
My right, of course.
Mauriac. Yeah. Screen right, as we're looking at it, is Gide, which is the answer we were looking for. André Gide with Persephone. And we close the round down. Kevin's through there. Means you won't be in the final round. Would you both please come back and join your teams? So this is what we've been playing towards. It's time for the final round, which as always is general knowledge. But I'm afraid those of you who lost your head-to-heads won't be allowed to take part in this round. So James, Harry, Ian and Matt from the Dorking Cocks, would you all depart the studio, please? So that leaves you, Steve, playing to win the Dorking Cockerels, £3,000 today. Kevin, CJ, Daphne, Chris and Barry. All five of you, you're playing for something which money can't buy. The Eggheads' reputation. As usual, I'll ask each team 3 questions in turn. This time the questions are all general knowledge. Steve and you are allowed to confer. Steve, the question is your brain better than the Eggheads' 5? And Steve, do you want to go first or second?
I think I'll get out of the way and go first, please, Dermot.
All right, good luck to you, Steve. First question coming right up here. What is a nom de guerre? Is it a military rank, an assumed name, or a middle initial?
Right, well, I have spent a fair bit of time in France working in that, and I know nom is name, so I'm going to rule out military rank, I think. I think it's an assumed name. I think I've heard that somewhere before, so I'm going to go for assumed name.
Assumed name. Well, once you'd cracked the nom as in name, you've got it. Yeah, an assumed name. Correct. OK, very good. And Eggheads, what does the comic strip character Popeye typically have tattooed on each arm? An anchor, a love heart, or a crucifix?
Everyone happy with Anchor?
Yeah.
As demonstrated in the terribly awful film with Robin Williams, an anchor.
The anchor is correct. Popeye with an anchor on each arm. So back to you, Steve. Second question. Good solid start. The ancient city of Ur, excavated in the 1920s by Leonard Woolley, is located in which modern day country? Is it India, Indonesia or Iraq?
Right. It's not one I've heard of, and I have been to quite a lot of different places. I mean, Iraq is quite a very old country. Indonesia's got a lot of things to discover in the undergrowth. But India's probably quite a possible answer as well, so I'm not too sure. I think I'll probably have a go at Iraq.
OK. Iraq for Is he right, Eggheads?
Yep. Yes, he is.
You are.
It's the birthplace of Abraham.
Birthplace of Abraham. Well done.
Thank you.
Yeah. 2 out of 2. And Eggheads, what does one use to play the game écarté? Is it playing cards, dice, or a chess set?
Card game. Yeah. Card game, everyone? Happy with it?
Cards.
It's a card game, so we're going to go for playing cards.
Not dice, then.
No, not for this one, no.
That's the correct answer. So 2-all, and well, Steve. Right. You never know, you get this right, you might just win the money. Born in 1935, the Italian Elio Fiorucci became a famous name in what field? Fashion design, Formula One, or football management?
1935.
35, yeah.
It's given him 76. I think it might be a bit early for Formula One. I'm not too sure. So I think I'll have to go either the fashion designer or football management. The Italians are quite good at their clothing and fashion, so I think it's going to sway me to fashion design. Dermot.
OK, Fiorucci for fashion design. Eggheads? Yep. It's correct. Well, well, well. Very interesting position we are now in. Steve, you've done all you can. You've got 3 out of 3. See what the Eggheads can do, but 5 of them left. Here you go, Eggheads. The shamrock is the emblem of which Greek Super League football team? Is it Olympiakos, Panathinaikos, or AEK Athens?
It's not AEK.
Okay.
Panathinaikos playing green and white, which would lead me towards that. I think it's Panathinaikos.
So what do we think, Eggheads? We got an answer yet?
Well, we've got nothing, have we?
If they play in green and white, it probably is Panathinaikos here.
Our determined decision is that it is definitely Panathinaikos.
Panathinaikos worked out with Kevin's knowledge of a bit of green there in the strip. It's the right answer, Eggheads.
Well,
it is Panathinaikos. Ooh.
I didn't go second because I don't know anything about football.
Doesn't matter. Listen, you've done tremendously well with archaeology and Italian fashion design and giving the lie to some people's ideas about rugby players. You've done really, really well. You've gone into sudden death now. You against the Eggheads. Here we go. Can you do it? Who wrote the 1869 novel He Knew He Was Right, about the jealousy of an emotionally unstable husband?
Oh dear.
Yeah.
Arts and literature is not a great subject for me. I'm not even really sure on dates, but I might go that it may have been a bitter wife writing about her husband, so I might go for a female. All I can think of is the Brontes, Charlotte Bronte.
OK, Charlotte Bronte. You know what? I mean, that's a good answer, but it's not correct. Do you know Eggheads?
Is it Trollope?
Trollope.
It is, well, I wouldn't accept that.
Anthony.
Anthony Trollope it was. So a chance now for the Eggheads to win. What's the name of the Czech musician who wrote the theme tune to the 1980s cop show Miami Vice?
Jan Hammer.
Jan Hammer.
Yeah. We think that's Jan Hammer.
It is Jan Hammer, Eggheads. You have won. And I think we'll be honest here in the studio, Steve. You know, after what happened in the head-to-heads, and you're facing the cream of those Eggheads, all 5 of them, you know, we thought, well, perhaps you might struggle. My goodness me, how we were proven wrong. Fantastic logic used throughout every single question you got. And I think we have a round of applause from your teammates behind you as well. You know, didn't he do well? Thank you very much indeed, Steve, for playing a great final round there against the Eggheads. Just didn't quite make it. But the Eggheads have done what comes naturally to them, and they still reign supreme over Quizland. I'm afraid you won't be going home with the £3,000, but you do go home with your head held very high. And that means, of course, the money rolls over to the next show. Eggheads, congratulations. Who will beat you? Join us next time to see if a new team of challengers have the brains to defeat the Eggheads. £4,000 says they don't. Until then, goodbye.
More from the Eggheads here on BBC HD on Monday. But next tonight, though, head-to-head for the Northern Irish chefs in the Great British Menu.
Highly trained singers, expert musicians, virtuoso performers, and conducting it all are for absolute beginners.
I've had no musical training. If you said to me A flat, I'd say, what, A flat tyre?
Everyone has this idea that conducting is just simply waving your arms around. Well, it's not.
I feel violently ill.
Which of these famous faces will become maestro at the opera tonight at 9 on BBC HD?
Our links to foreign shores are all around us, in the language, the culture and the people who make up our island race. We embrace our coast for all sorts of reasons, and our coast embraces us. And remember, wherever you are in these islands, north, south, east, west, or right in the middle, you're never more than 72 miles from the sea.
Back to the Crucible here on BBC HD in half an hour. But first, whipping up the full menus for their judges, it's selection day for the Northern Ireland chefs.
It's been an incredibly tense week on Great British Menu.
I don't know what's going on here, being honest. It's totally stitched me up here.
Are you okay?
Yeah, just don't want to go home.
Calm down.
Yesterday, a former champion dropped out of the race.
Huge commiserations.
Deserved it.
Today promises to be a battle of epic proportions, as last year's winner and the chef he beat come to blows for the second year running.
I like you, Chris, but I'm not going to lie to you. I hope you crash and burn this year.
In front of our panel of formidable judges.
But I think it tastes disgusting.
I think it'd have to be incinerated as an offence to human health.
Will Chris Bell blow them away with his daring technical menu?
I believe I can win this, and I want to win this so badly.
These two dishes are absolutely first rate.
Or will Chris Fern steal the show with his theatrics?
I'm back here again, round two, ding ding. Ridiculous.
He's been under immense pressure all week and today is heading for a catastrophe.
They've melted.
That's crazy.
Oh my God.
There's only room for one in the national final.
The chef going forward is